Trek Supercaliber 2020 and my impressions. Alright guys, this bicycle is, man, this thing looks hot. Like in this blue color, that's like my favorite color. Like, this is so awesome. And the weird thing about this bicycle, the whole ad campaign was pretty cool. And there are these kids, they're arguing like, man, is it like a hardtail or is it a full suspension bike? But it's neither. So Trek went ahead and made their own sort of category mountain bike. So they have this technology they call the IsoStrut, kind of like the IsoSpeed and the Trek Damani, but IsoStrut. So it's integrated into the frame. So they worked with Fox Engineering to make this sort of, they call it an IsoStrut, and it's 60 millimeters of travel. It's within the frame, and the weird thing is it adds like more compliance. Yeah, bike manufacturers love to use the word compliance, and what it pretty much is you know, it's when you have a bit of travel or something, or it's like the future shock system on the specialized bicycles. It's where you have a little bit of travel and it gives you a little bit more comfort, or at least that's my understanding of it. But it's a word that bike manufacturers love to throw around. But it certainly does, and their whole point of it is it's going to add more comfort to the rider. So obviously with a hardtail you have, I guess, more speed, and then you get a bit of a weight penalty if you have a full suspension mountain bike setup. So this is kind of a cross between the two. And at first I thought it was going to be something to help you save money on maybe a full suspension mountain bike, but oh my gosh, was I wrong. Like, these things actually do get pretty expensive, or they start off pretty expensive. I didn't see a cheaper option. So there are two things I wish I had seen on this bicycle. I wish like maybe they could have put in like an alloy option, maybe like something a bit like more entry level or whatever, or I guess you can call me a noob if I don't do downhill mountain bike. I've done downhill mountain biking. And I actually have a video where I did that. I was where I biked to, actually, in New Hampshire, and I was with my friends. They're on e-bikes, and I was on this giant. It was actually a hardtail, funny enough, but yeah, that was actually a pretty fun time. But anyways, yeah, I mean, I wish maybe they could have had the starting price a bit lower, but this isn't a cheaper alternative to a full suspension. Like, that's what I think everyone needs to understand here, because I've seen full suspension setups for like $2,100 and stuff like that. So you can definitely get into a full suspension for less money than this. But this is a certain specialization, right, of suspension. So it's for people who want to literally go as fast as possible, but they want it to be a bit more forgiving on the trail. So I mean, it's a really cool technology, and it's really cool that they had a certain type of rider in mind that would maybe be trying to get more speed out of that. And another option that they have is you can lock out this whole IsoStrut thing completely. So you could have it function as a hardtail. So let's say you're doing a cross-country race and there's a segment of it where you really didn't need this thing. It was pretty flat for the most part, and you just need to go as fast as possible. You could like just go like, I don't know, full send, like just lock this thing out and it would be fine. So there were some details about how to service this thing. So I guess it's pretty simple. So you can do seals, bushing, and oil. Of course, relatively simple. So it'd be pretty similar to, is what they say, is to servicing a front fork on a mountain bike, if that makes sense. And by the way, this has 100 millimeters of travel in the front fork, and then this whole IsoStrut technology in the rear, you have 60 millimeters of travel. So I guess you could say you have 160 full, but that's not in one area. I mean, it's distributed in the front and then in the rear, so it'll be a bit more forgiving in the front, and then the stuff that hasn't been forgiven in the back, you can sort of, you know, have the 60 millimeters to sort that out. And another thing that's really cool about this technology, right, is you don't have any lateral flex. And by lateral flex, I was a little bit confused about what that meant in the first place, because I've never, to be honest with you guys, I've never really gone into the technical details of how the full suspension works. But I guess lateral means you can go side to side a bit, you know, with all these motions, and you're running over all kinds of rocks and crazy things in the woods. So, you know, you're getting rid of that whole full suspension setup that's been around forever in the first place, and you're adding this new thing, which is integrated into the frame. So you're just going to have sort of vertical flex. And another thing that there is the rear strut, the rear seat stays, right? They're wider than they are tall. So as you can see of this diagram here, they sort of flexed at, like, this is just ingenious, the way like the frame just like flexes with this IsoStrut technology. I don't know, I think this looks so cool. and you might have to watch it a few times to understand it completely, but I don't know, the way they did that is so great, to not have to have that lateral travel all the side, be all floppy and whatever. Of course you won't be able to notice unless like you were looking at a slow motion in camera or something, but I guess their point is it does affect the performance, so it's good to just have the vertical travel of what you need to give the bumps and not have to have that all kinds of, have everything all over the trail with all that lateral flex. And of course it wouldn't be all over the trail, but it's just such an improvement. And of course you can use a regular shock pump to adjust this for rider weight. And another thing I noticed was, from what I saw, they had one frame, then they had 4 versions of it, and I guess they gradually get more expensive, and then you got the top end, which is, it's like 11 grand, and it's going to be competing with, I'd guess, the likes of the Specialized Enduro or Specialized Epic and things like that. But all of them have 12-speed SRAM, different trims of it obviously, but SRAM cassettes and SRAM sort of gear setups. And a lot of you guys, I talk about Shimano a lot, and a lot of you guys think I probably don't use SRAM product, but I have been using SRAM product because the bicycle I have right now, my Trek 1.2, is a weird melting pot of all different bicycle parts, trying to keep the cost at like the 900 bucks. So my rear cassette is actually a SRAM 9-speed. So fun facts about the Trek 1 series 2015. That's what I have, but still going strong. So yeah, the prices do start at 4,800 and go all the way up to 11 grand. So, you know, like, no big deal. Well, it is a big deal, but you can get the frame. Like, for those of you that were wondering, you can get the frame by itself for 3,700 bucks, and you can build it up with, I don't know if you could, can you put Shimano cranks on there? I don't know, that'd be kind of interesting. You could do Shimano cranks on there. Leave it down in the comments if you do that. But yeah, I mean, I guess there's a wide range of price range. I mean, if you're seriously into cross-country riding and you're in this type of segment, this might be exactly what you're looking for. So you might be the customer that's willing to pay that. So if you are, I'd say maybe investigate what you can build up with the frame first, and then you can sort of go from there and decide what your budget is and like which setup you should get. But they're all 12-speed cassettes, so I guess you can have a wider range of gears than you would. It's funny because, you know, mountain bike gears are obviously meant, you need to go up mountains and whatnot. But yeah, at least on the most expensive model that I'm looking at, you got a 1050 cassette. That is a wide range of gears, and you got a set of 34 tooth. You have one chain ring in front, which obviously is fine. Like, I've seen so many mountain bikes where you have like so many different rings in the front, and I don't know, I think if you're on a mountain bike, I just want like more simplicity than that. So it's like, honestly, I would rather have one ring. Because you ever see those like mountain bikes get from Walmart or whatever, they're like absolute, that's funny, that's what I started out on. This guy that used to work with me and my dad, he just left this mountain bike, so my dad's like, oh, you can use it. And it was a Walmart mountain bike, you know, it's kind of, it wasn't anything good, but it had 3 rings, and like, it just adds more like that can go wrong, honestly. So yeah, I mean, on a mountain bike, I'm fine with that. You got like 34 tooth up front, you got a 1050. Like, you're gonna be able to go up like something vertical. Like, I don't even know. I don't know if it'll grip that much. Oh, and another thing I did want to say is I did see it at a DT Swiss rear hub. I do like DT Swiss components. I tried out a Specialized Diverge, and it had DT Swiss wheels and everything like that, and it just felt really good. So no complaints there. But this is a really, really cool bicycle, and the one thing, I don't know if someone can let me know in the comments, maybe I'm just a noob and I can't find it, but I don't know, a whole marketing thing where, you know, they had this baby blue bicycle. It was like my favorite color, and they had that girl that was like pretending to be Goldilocks or whatever, because they're like, oh, this bike's just right, and the other one's too hard, it's too soft. But the thing, yeah, like that color, it's so great. Like, if anybody, I don't see it there, I just see these like two, it's like the Miami color, and then you have the black color, or the gray. Like, I want to see this blue color. Like, I don't know if I didn't see a Project 1 option, so if someone can please let me know if that's even for sale or if that's just a show color. I would love to know. Like, I would thank you so much, like, if you could figure that out for me. But I want you guys to let me know what you think of this crazy new innovative mountain bike design. Like, do you like it? Do you think it's gonna be a flop? Do you think it's a gimmick? Do you think it's a bucket of shit? Like, let me know. Let me know in the comments down below, and I would be so happy to hear everyone's opinion and I will be responding to each and every comment in this video. So you guys can subscribe if you want to see more cycling related content, or me just being a weird vegan hippie and driving Miatas or whatever. But yeah, bicycles. I do a lot of bicycle related stuff, and I am vegan. I think and if you think that's weird, I have videos about it and how it helps with performance in cycling. So thank you guys for being here. It means so much to me. I love that blue color on the bicycle on this Trek Supercaliber, the baby blue. That was an amazing color. If they don't bring it to the website, that'll make me like really disappointed, because in my opinion, I think the color of the bicycle is a lot of the reason you're gonna make the emotional decision of purchasing it, which is a good and a bad thing. But I don't know, you always want a good color in a bicycle. So thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next one. Oh, and another thing, I like how at the end of the commercial, this lady's asking the grandmother, hey, do you think it's a hardtail or a full suspension? She's like, who cares, man? It looks fast as fuck.